Alrighty, Star Wars fans, welcome back to the Old Star Wars Fans podcast. My name is Daniel, and you know what? I got some good news. Because, this week has been kind of rough. We all need some good news, okay? The Mandalorian gets his own open world video game. I'm giggling on the inside. I haven't felt this excited about Star Wars since Luke Skywalker came back in the at the end of the Mandalorian. You could ask my wife. I was negotiating with myself to say that's not him. And when I realized it was actually him, I lost my ever-loving mind. But let's get into this, okay? This is from Epic Stream by Mr. Daniel Roberts. Okay, can't contain your excitement for upcoming open-world Star Wars games? Well, guess what? This is brand new footage. So apparently that looks like the Razor Crest. You got a Star Destroyer on the background, some kind of city. Oh, man. It's been a while since there have been any update on the currently dubbed Star Wars project. Title to be announced later. The open world game that's set to take place in the galaxy far, far away, which will be a first for the franchise. Now, Star Wars is no stranger to video games. I played them on the NES. I played them on the Super Nintendo. Yes, I'm that old. I don't need your gruff. Played them on the 64. I've played them on basically every console that there is, While there are many other titles on the horizon, Ubisoft's upcoming title will be the first time players will be able to explore iconic worlds and venture into deep space. Now, it's not hard to do, okay? We've seen that with various other video games with Star Wars, where you basically hop from planet to planet, which is awesome. We love that, Whether it was, the Wookiee world, whether it was, the Sith home world, whether it was Dagobah, Hoth, any of these places, we've been able to do that. However, now this is post Return of the Jedi, okay? And for me personally, I liked games like that because you're venturing into the unknown, and I really appreciate that. Even if it's kind of during the same timeline and then it ends up towards the end, right after Return of the Jedi, I like that because it's the unplayable. It's the unknown. That's one of the reasons why Hogwarts Legacy has become such a standout game. Okay, we know Harry and Hagrid and Dumbledore. We know all that. This is, hundreds of years beforehand. Or maybe not hundreds, but this is before that. We're exploring brand new territory. And so I'm really hoping, really hoping they take kind of the Skyrim or the ESO, the Elder Scrolls Online thing, where you can basically go to various groups, and you don't need the whole planet, okay? You really don't. But you can go, and there can be a few settlements, and there can be, little hamlets and villages and various little doodads and whatnot to do. You can have factions, instead of the Companions Guild, they can be like the Bounty Hunters. Instead of the Greybeards, you can have them be the Jedi. Instead of the Dark Brotherhood, the Sith. However you want to do it. But have it be open world, open choice, where you're not stuck to a certain character. But still, to be able to do what you want. Excuse me. If you just want to fly around and see what's what, fly around and see what's what. That's what I hope it is. Now, of course, there's been a lot of speculation. Who's going to be the main character? What are the factions going to be? Will this be more of a Mandalorian-led game? Will this be more of a Jedi-led game or Jedi Sith, Force entities? Or is it just, you don't know. You as the player, could get Force abilities if you want them. Or you could be a heavy-duty Mandalorian, whatever. Or you could be, the captain of a starship. Star cruiser, gunship, whatever. Those opportunities are great, at least from a storytelling standpoint, because now you, the fan, or you and I, the fan, are there, and we can make our own decisions. Do you want to be a Han Solo? Do you want to be a Wedge Antilles? Do you want to be a Princess Leia, neck deep in the politics of stuff? Do you want to be a Luke Skywalker, a Obi-Wan Kenobi, a Darth Bane? The choice is yours. And no two play styles will be the same. Unless you become like a stealth archer. Which, if you've played open world RPGs, you know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I've got this cough I cannot get rid of. But Ubisoft has announced it is collaborating with Disney and Lucasfilm Games on a new story-driven, open-world video game set in the Star Wars galaxy. Headed by Massive Entertainment, the project gathers in some of the most experienced talents in the video game industry and will make the most of Massive's innovative spirit and cutting-edge technologies, such as the Snowdrop engine, to deliver groundbreaking Star Wars adventures. And here we see a ship like the Razor Crest, going into what almost looks like Earth, if I'm being honest with you. And then you have the Forest Planet. There's the Mandos. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that almost looks like Skyrim, except with the AT-ATs in the back. But yeah, I mean, there's really no information as of right now, but everyone I know is just giggling beyond belief. Okay, there's a reason games like the Elder Scrolls franchise have lasted so long. And they have such great replay value. I cut my teeth on Oblivion. I went back and I played all the rest of them. Skyrim, I've played ESO. I didn't like ESO as much, if I'm perfectly honest. But the replay value for Skyrim, and even with mods, there's a phenomenal modding community. So you could add in, Star Wars characters or such that, people feel that, they would want. So this really, in my opinion, with the current machinations of what Disney is going through, this really could, if they go the Bethesda route, where it's basically, here's the video game, we don't care if you mod it, they could really make Disney and Lucasfilm a crap ton of money. I mean Scrooge McDuck money. And then you could go in, because that's really what people wanted from Battlefront. Sadly, they took the bad parts of storytelling and the bad parts of Call of Duty and created Battlefront, which, But anyway, if you could do that, you could literally turn that engine into anything. You could go back in pre-Republic, the Sith Empire. You could go forward with, Luke Skywalker's lineage. You could literally do anything you wanted to. You could, create any and all the factions that exist throughout the Star Wars lore. Because the planets don't really change. You could go back to the original Jedi group, the Jedi, who were more balanced. You could have a Star Wars Rebel DLC where you could play with Ezra and Hera. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Absolutely endless. But what do y'all think about this? Have y'all heard any rumors about this game? Do you know people in the know who, maybe work for Ubisoft or Lucasfilm Games, What do y'all think about this? At the conception, I like the idea. In fact, I would be honest in saying I'll probably buy it if it stays an open world game like they're talking about. Would y'all? Let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Daniel. I am an old Star Wars fan, and I will see y'all in the next one.